I am Ultrazilla, and today I have reviewed Playmates Toys Godzilla vs. Kong. Giant Godzilla. Alright, my Zillions, we got the first of the Playmates Toys Godzilla vs. Kong subline. We've already seen Playmates Toys tackle some of the more classic monsters to some controversy within the fandom. But I've covered most of those toys, and I've personally liked them, and I've given some great explanation to why some of the toys are like they are. So do feel free to give a check to my previous Playmates Toys Godzilla reviews for all of that. I'll probably touch upon a lot of that in this review, but definitely, doing this Godzilla first because you know what? It's Godzilla. It is a Godzilla brand first and foremost, a MonsterVerse. So a Godzilla franchise, I should say, before a Kong franchise. That's why he's getting top billing there, and that's why he's getting top billing here. Although within these two videos, you'll hear me kind of debating which one I'm actually posting up first. But I did film all those scenes prior to this opening. So, but, when I really thought about it, yeah, Godzilla is the one. But is it a good toy? Let's find out. Big G's articulation. You do have a little bit of motion at the head, not much. But there is something there. The arms are on swivels, as well as the wrists. And then I knocked my camera, but that's fine. Same thing with the legs. I do like how the legs go in here. That's cool. See that? That's cool. I dig that. Swivel at the ankles there, and then swivel at the tail where you do put the tail in. So there you go. Not a ton of range of motion, but not bad. So this is an interesting one because when I first got it, I was like, oh, this must be, the Jax mold. It looks exactly like that one, like the big Jax. And I was like really taken back by the color of this guy, which I find very, very interesting for a Godzilla. This kind of like light bluish gray. Really unsure about it, to tell you the truth. And then I unboxed it during my live stream, and I was like, something interesting about this guy. And the more I've looked at him as the day has gone on, because I just unboxed him this morning, just to give you a little time frame there, because I don't know exactly when I'm putting this up. Probably as soon as possible. When I unboxed this guy, I was like, this is interesting. And as the day has gone on, I'm repeating myself, sorry. Lost my train of thought. It's just grown on me. And it's grown on me a lot by the time this review has gone on. I do like it. I think the most egregious part of this thing are the screw holes. We saw it on the Jax as well. It's not the biggest of deals, but I wish they just covered them up. I know they're not going to do that for a kid's toy, especially for the price point of $20. You're not going to really get that because it's also big. But those screw holes, yeah, it is what it is. But you know what, guys? I'm kind of used to it. I've grown up with toys, and I've seen them all my life. So it's nothing crazy to have those screw holes. To talk about another thing here, the materials used in this section. It is that hard plastic, but the dorsal fins up here, the lit up ones, are soft plastic, which is cool. I don't mind the hard plastic at all. I'm repeating what I'm gonna say in the Kong video, and Kong video might go up before this, I am not sure, or at the same time, I don't know. But I don't mind the materials used at all. I think it sets it apart from the import figures, and not in a bad way. I mean, guys, if you like vinyls and you don't like this, I don't know. I think that's silly. Why people hate on hard plastic? Haven't you guys grown up with toys like this. It's a kid's toy. It feels sturdy. It feels like something that's gonna be knocked around, like, that's fine. That's totally cool. Now, like, look at some of the toys you grew up with, and a lot of them are collector's items now. So this is destined to be the same. So poo-poo on it all you want, but at the end of the day, folks are going to be, like, flocking to get this when the time comes. Mark my words. Alright, so let's look at this Goji a little closer, and I do like the head sculpt a lot. Let's get up here. I think it's really pretty good. The mouth looks pretty interesting. The tongue is done in like a light pink, but it goes with the overall aesthetic here. And I'll be interested to see if he's actually this light in the movie, or if this is when he's, like, charging up or something. It's interesting. I know there's a 6-inch version that's a little darker and one that's light like this. So very, very interesting to see how that'll go in the movie. The eyes are done pretty well, so that's good. The teeth are, it's very light, but they are picked out, and that's fine. The overall sculpt on this piece, it's okay, like, I don't hate it at all. And I kind of actually rather like it, but there's, like, spots where it feels like it gets really, like, they smoothed it out after they sculpted it. Like, you can see it on the chest. It looks a little odd. And then the overall look, there's, like, a smoothness to it. It's very weird the way they did it. But then it gets a little more glossy as it goes. It's got an interesting texture, I'll give it that. But what's cool about this guy, and there is some, like, residue from, like, a wipe I wiped it with. Should've. Same thing happened with my Kong. Apologies. There is some nice, it's extra texture. Some nice sculpt work going on, and there is a bit of a kind of, like, brownish wash to this guy. And my lights are, picking it up even further, but you can see that on the legs over here, it gets a little darker, and I think that's well done. I do. I really, really do. The shape of this guy looks pretty good. Nice sculpt throughout. I'm gonna just ignore the screw holes because who cares? The toes look awesome. Really nice and gray. And as you can see, there's, like, some excess paint on this, which is nice. Look at that sculpt going up the legs. That is not bad. You got seam lines here, but whatever, it's a toy. For kids. I'll keep saying that. But it is. It's really well done here. The tail looks really good. I like the way they shaped it. I think that looks very, very nice. And then the dorsal fins, as they start up here, look pretty cool. And then we get to the lit up part. And you do have the seam line that goes all the way up, but whatever. The actual shape and sculpt here works. It looks good. Those are some really nice dorsal fins, and I like the blue. There's some weird spraying going on down here. Like, they just overdid it on mine or something. Let's see, get it a little closer. Check that out. On both of these, I don't know if that's the way it was supposed to be, and maybe it's not just as much here. Yeah, I guess that's the way it was supposed to be, but it's, like, really, really prominent on these two, which is funny. And then not as prominent in some of the other ones as you go upwards. See on the other side if it's any cleaner. No, it's about the same. It's an interesting look. It's no doubt an interesting look. There's a couple of these that are not quite straight. Maybe a little bit of heat to this will help me shape it, but that's not the biggest deal. But overall, I think this guy looks pretty good. Let's zoom out again and refix the camera, because I do want to say I do like the pose of the legs. And I think some people had some problems with the way Playmates has been posing the toys, but at least that's pretty different. I like that they, like, kind of stepping forward, some of them. This Godzilla is, doing that as well. As you can see, this leg is further out. And I think that looks pretty good. Look at that. that is a really cool legendary Godzilla. So let's kick off size comparisons with these guys sizing with each other. About the same-ish height. Godzilla is just a hair taller than Kong, but Kong is much wider. Of course, Godzilla's got the long tail, so he's going to be longer. But that's how they look together. I don't know if it's quite right. You know, as toys, it's fine, and you'll be able to play with them just fine because they're the same height. But I feel like there might be some offness here as far as what the movie actually looks like. Because I just feel like, man, Kong with those arms should have no problem with Godzilla. For some more size comparisons, here's Godzilla with a bunch of figures you might have in your collection. And one final size comparison, here he is with the Jax. And as I said earlier, it's just completely different. It is totally a different sculpt. They are at a different height. They are different bulks. Just very different. The screws are on different sides. The faces are different. You can see that this is just bigger overall. This is a little bit of a bigger figure. So there you have it, guys. I thought they might have been the same, and maybe these might be a little bit the same, but they do come from the same like files. So remember that as well. They do come from the same files. So they are different for sure, but there might be like some similarities. Again, of course, you know, the stance is a little different and stuff like that. So while there is some similarities, they are definitely different. And my final thoughts, I like the Godzilla. I mean, the most egregious part is the screw holes on one side. Other than that, I'm good with everything else on this figure. I think it looks really cool. Sculpt is nice. It's got some nice shading to it, which is great. Really no problem. Where there's paint, it's good. So that is cool. Nice pose. Yeah, guys, I dig this. I think it's pretty good. I think this is a nice way to start the line. So I have no problem with it. Again, I like the plastic quality. Your mileage is gonna vary on that, but you know, I think it's pretty nice. I like how it feels. It feels nice and sturdy. I do like the dorsal fins. You know, there's some weird spray issues on them, but it's not that bad overall. And there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Definitely recommend this one. If you could please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Stay safe. Till next time, peace out, peeps.